everyone. It's your boy Stephen McCoy, and you are watching and listening to Sessions with Stephen. And today we have model, reality, television personality, and he's also a runway coach, Miss J. How are
Hey,
you?
hey, I'm okay. You know, we're dealing. I mean, it's kind of crazy right now with not being able to travel, not being able to be back home in France at the moment for me. So it's a bit strange being here in the U.S. this long for me.
Yeah,
It's
because
really, really,
you're normally always in Paris, right?
yes, that's usually
And
when
you
I.
look amazing as always, no matter what you're wearing. It's just like you can always turn a cloth into a masterpiece.
You know, this comes from Steve. This comes from being, I guess, number 7 of 10 kids. You know, having to create, create things. You know, do what you have to do. I
Yeah,
mean, it's just
absolutely.
and you can't afford to buy what everyone else has, so you create it. And it's something that stuck with me for the longest time, actually.
Wow, that's amazing. And people would assume that you probably never had to work with you guys. You had to, that you can just always pull clothes off the rack.
Well, 6'4" is not that easy, you know,
Yeah.
being 6'4". And also, too, I have such an extensive Marc Jacobs wardrobe, so I pull that when I need it. I mean, because I've known them most of my life, you know. And, everybody doesn't get everything for free.
Yes, exactly.
Hopefully, these
And
are
now,
designers.
I saw your outfit for that you wore during the Blue Jacket fashion show, and it looked amazing. You
You
got to tell me who the designer was.
if you saw it, the blue moment, saw the leather and the layers, and
It was like a blue situation going on that you
the
posted.
situation.
Blue situation.
Oh. That situation was the chiffon. Was I done? Was I painted? Was in drag? With that moment when I was done, snatched? Oh no, that's a different situation.
Oh,
Because
okay, okay. So we have
because
yet to
couldn't
see
show,
everything.
I couldn't show the situation what's going to be tomorrow's situation.
Can't
You
wait.
see, it's a simple situation that what you saw. I made that. I
Yeah.
made that. I made. I believe it is 14 of those, 14
Oh,
different colors.
wow.
Because when I was working on China's I Supermodel, I that was my look. I went 1930s cross dresses, so with the men's underwear underneath it, the men's lace up Marc Jacobs shoes, the garters, and I thought, what am I going to do? So I thought, something, I'll just make these in 14 different colors, and I think we shot maybe 12 or 13 episodes. So
Mm,
I was going to host part of what is for tomorrow. So
okay.
then I was told, oh no, last day for the reveal. I said, oh shit. So what I did was, when I posted today, I just sort of took that, I threw it on the floor in a pile, and wrote something borrowed, something old, something new, something borrowed, something blue.
Yes,
Because it's something
exactly.
I have, because all my wardrobe is not here. I mean, I've been sitting back here, floating around, kind of mixing and matching things. And where are we going? Where are we going other than from the waist up? Steve, where are
Yeah,
we going? We're going
right.
nowhere.
That's true.
So tomorrow, um, is going to be different. You get dressed up and do what they've done. If you want to get dressed up at home, I shot my thing on the street, Washington Square Park. Um, as I do my jaywalking videos, child, just shoot this, just shoot me.
Jaywalking. Yes, let's get
I
into the
kind of want to get, I
jaywalking of
kind of want,
snow.
yeah, and I kind of gave an old school. Let me kind of go back to that moment. That
Hmm.
reveal. You got to take a jacket off. You can do the things that the kids don't do now. If they do it now, it's a little bit different. And I mean, it's for a great organization. I mean, it's a good jacket, represent prostate cancer, and it
Yeah,
helps raise money,
yeah.
for that. Um, so we think about the things that we've done. Um, we just kind of go through life and nothing matters until something happens that someone brings to your attention. And I think when it's Frederick Anderson and Laura Miller, when they created this, I think it was like now 5 years ago, it was to bring awareness to the situation that, that most people just go through life. I mean, I went through life having never, ever, 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 ever being sick. Never.
Wow.
Until gallstones.
Wow.
then I just open up everything.
right.
And my niece is a medical examiner here, so she guides me through everything that needs to be what need to be guided through. And I think it is about getting tested and the fear of getting the bad news when you get tested. So what do? You don't go.
Right.
So I think it's to get tested, early detection, to kill a bitch.
Yeah.
Kill
Exactly.
it, just bang it out, just get it out, and just kind of let's get through healthy life. I mean, we're going through this whole pandemic, this whole COVID situation. Mentally, people are losing it. People
Yeah.
are losing it, and
Yeah.
we're trying to stay, we're afloat. You're trying to be creative. You're trying to be, productive in your head. And it's
Hmm.
not easy for you sitting at home behind a computer with a wall behind you where you used to being out and about. You
Bingo.
used to be out with the microphone in people's faces, having moments, putting something cute. Steve doesn't want to be home with a damn baseball cap and a t-shirt. He wants to put on a look and go out. So how does one get creative um, at home? Mentally, emotionally, physically, it does a lot of damage for a lot of people, because people spending money though. People are still shopping, buying clothes online.
Yeah.
I'm thinking where you wear them to, unless you're wearing them at home for your own self, but we're we woke up this morning, so we're good.
Absolutely. What would you say has changed for you like during this whole pandemic? Because you live your life as a social butterfly in the fashion industry. You literally have to meet with designers and meet with, I mean, and you also coach models and runway
Yeah,
shows.
well, I think the thing that's changed for me is just how much patience I really have,
Yeah.
actually, how much patience I have with the madness. Because people are getting a little bit, like, okay,
Yeah.
don't. So my creativity in my head is there, but it hasn't gone into my hands.
Hmm.
Because if I create something, I want to put it on. I want to be able to wear it. So
Yeah.
there's no place. And by the time I create it and let it sit there, I kind of want to wear it when it's time to wear it again because it's something that comes in my head that I want to wear that now. So thinking when the weather gets warmer, do I go out there and create stuff and just wear it out in the street, just wear it around the block, actually walk around the block and to say
Right.
I want it out someplace.
Right.
But I mean it. You watch things on TV, you look at things on the internet. That keeps me busy. I talk to my friends. Um, and what has changed is the spirit of having to, this part of my brain, what flight? Can they give me that flight? I need to be flown in this day. The interview was this time. Can I be flown the night before? Okay, but they need you for this event. You're doing this and doing that. Okay, so, but carry backup, you may get to have to stay a little bit longer or you get invited to other things. That happens all the time when I go to LA.
Hmm.
The award season, but it's all the things leading up to award season. So
Right.
my
Right.
brain here is planning at, okay, land this day, get your hair braided, get the out, look, this, that, straight, look, plain, tap, look. And then you kind of go, that's not happening here in my head anymore. So you
Yeah.
have all this extra free space that's just kind of floating. And with that
Understood.
free space, it can be quite dangerous, Steve. It can be quite dangerous to be alone in your own thoughts.
Understood.
You
Understood.
know? So it's
That's
about just trying to keep yourself sane and being creative and emotionally and mentally in a good place during almost 9 months of not being able to socialize people. Not I haven't been on the airplane since March 3rd. When I arrived from working in Canada, I came here and I've been here since. And this is really rare for me because I've been on a plane. I know exactly where I am, what months, where we are. Productions have shut down other things we're working on. Other TV shows have come to a halt that I was up for. So everything just kind of just goes, it just stops.
right.
So you're trying to keep yourself in a creative, happy space. Then eventually emotionally broke down, non-creative place. At
Yeah.
least that's for me.
Yeah. And what would you say that you've done during this pandemic to prevent yourself from putting weight on? Because I mean, in your
You know,
industry, it's
really funny.
what?
Someone asked me that question, and I have been the same way since the start because first of all, I cook at home.
Okay, that's a big. That's like 100 pounds off, right there.
I cook at home, and I'm a damn good cook, which most people don't know that. But yes, maybe I can birth babies, I can make babies if I want, baby. I can sew, I can cook, bitch. I can clean, I can whip your ass if need be. Let's come together, come together. So for me, but I had to cut back because I've just discovered during quarantine that white sugar, white flour, yeast, these gluten have given me, baby, my skin the run for its money. So that's something that I just discovered during lockdown. So, I love sugar. I love my sweets. I love my cakes. I love my pies. Lemon pound cake. Peach cobbler. I love my desserts. I love, love, love. And but I can't have those as much as I would like them. I cut back.
You are
But
always
I'm
on.
not. I don't.
Oh,
I think since this whole thing, yeah, I cook at home. I cook. I share with my neighbors down the hall, and the hair child tell you I made a lot of it. Um, but I think eating at home, it's helped me not gain any weight. It made me a little bit nervous in the beginning, but it made me a little bit. I was like, "Oh, bitch, you got a sample size."
right, right.
Look, and my niece was like, "She's uncle. It's the stuff that you're not." And I don't eat out that often to begin with, but
Okay. Yeah.
when I'm traveling, you're not at home eating at home. You're eating in restaurants.
Right. Or little
You're
fancy
eating you.
parties that you attend in Paris. So with the little
Well,
thing.
actually, something. The funny thing about it is that has shifted for a while now because I've been spending so much time flying, and people don't really. I don't have that same social thing there anymore that I have here. I go to more galas here. I go to more events here. Oscars, Golden Globes, Emmys, the dinners and parties before, the things after, the HMI, the Ali Fournet Center Gala. These things have gone to here. And when that happens, you're eating, you're traveling, you're not at home, so you're eating what you get your hands on. When you're on set, you're eating craft services, you start eating stuff that you normally don't buy at home, and you're just eating it.
Yeah.
You realize you go pull out that one look out the closet, and that one look goes, that one look says, "Not today, bitch, put me back."
Not today.
So
And I want to know,
that's
like,
better.
it's amazing. Your success has been amazing and gradual. Like literally every year we're seeing you. I mean, you are at legendary status, and I know you've heard it 1,000 times, but it is a fact is a fact, and I just wonder with the world that you're in, the modeling industry and all of the brutality and racism and things that are going on that we see that goes on. Have you ever experienced? It may be a little silly, I feel like of me to ask, but it's just that I mean, you've had such international success, and not to say that those who have international success like can't experience those things, but I just wonder, have you gone through some of those, and how do you manage it if you can?
First of all, no questions too silly to ask. First of all,
Yeah.
that's just one. Like I would tell someone, I've learned 4 things I'm gonna share with you before we end up off this phone. But I learned from 4 folks. I went to school to be an accountant. I'm born in New York City, South Bronx, number 7 of 10 kids. I'm from the hood.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't realize during an interview last week, you think about it now, I've never, when we were going through the whole Black Lives Matter thing, it was something I was learning because there's more things, being exposed as you watch. I watch it from my window here, like every day going through. I went down for a few times, paranoid, but I thought, let me kind of go down there to check them on. Yes, we get this. But I never went through the first time I felt direct racism with me, just in general, was in Ireland when I went to a gay bar, and the man looked at me when I came to the door and said, no, we're closed, and just, shut the door. And I gave what is now popular GIF now, I gave back then, was just like,
Yes. Yeah. I've used that a few
yeah,
times, by the way.
look, that was oh, bitch, that was a gag.
Yeah, a gag. Yes, it was.
Then I went to a store in Paris to shop, and the man was very angry when I came in right away. Wouldn't let me try nothing on, but he said, just buy it and pay for it and then go try it on home. And I was so angry at him that I bought a lot of stuff, and then I just shoved it on the floor after he rang it up, and I cursed him out, as the black girls and projects do. And I was like, earrings were coming off, the Vaseline was about to go in the face because you're about to fight.
Jay, don't play.
My gay situation was when I was 14, 15, and I went to apply for a job as a summer camp counselor with my friend Jennifer Brown. And 10 days later, she got the call back, and I didn't get the call back. So when she went down and filled out the application to do ID, she asked, what about my friend? And then he said, which friend? She explained. He said, oh, yeah. And the guy said, I was afraid that, my boss was afraid that if we hired him, that they thought that he was gay, and that maybe some of the kids, the parents, would, be upset about it. And then for me, it was kind of like, it wasn't about me being black. It wasn't about my gender. It was like, oh, well, you don't like me. So, well, bitch, I wouldn't got a goddamn job. It didn't stop me. Well, okay, oh, well, fine. If I think about it now, ooh, child, that was, not good. And right now, today, there would be 3,000 people outside those offices protesting because of the situation. But I looked at anything that was because I was one or the other that I couldn't get. I just did what I did. Yeah. I just went and I did what I did.
Yeah.
My first time at Gay Pride was 2016. Not because I judged myself this out there partying and all that, getting dressed up. I do that all the time. I didn't realize the importance of most of what it was all about until later in life. And then when I had the opportunity to join, a parade, is when it really hit me. It's more than just dressing up in drag, putting an outfit, being naked, having a hot body, gyrating. It's really a lot more. It's about what we have been fighting for years. What Marsha B. Johnson's went out there and kind of created the importance of it. And that's when I see young teenage kids looking at me screaming and crying, Miss J, Miss J. It was then I realized the importance that I had on the young gay community by just being present. And being present, Steve, answering your question in the long stories, just being me, doing me. That's all. No, I just, when I did me, I didn't care what you thought about me. I put a dress on at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I put a dress on, whatever it was, I just did it and I couldn't be bothered. And never got beaten up, chased down, for it. I never did, never got, that stuff that people go through. I don't have
like that's pretty good.
and I would get a number 6 train and come down maybe and with half my outfit on. The number 13 bus to the number 6 train. I lived in 2-fare zone, bitch. So it was the number 13 bus, and then the number 6 train from Castle Avenue down. Or because I moved from the South Bronx on Freeman Street, on Clinton Avenue, 169th Street, near Turner Park is where I grew up. And then I moved to 580 Castle Hill Avenue in the Bronx with my grandmother. And then it was a 2-fare zone, and I did that, come to the city, back uptown, and just doing me. And I think someone just asked me to do something this weekend, and it's about my struggles. I never had those struggles that people talk about. I just, for me, it was normal in my head for me to do what I did. I know it sounds like I'm rambling in some sense, but for me, it was just, and I think in the fashion business, I remember getting a casting sheet saying, NB for no blacks on it.
Mm-hmm.
But I would go anyway, just to break face, but I just show up.
Right, yeah.
Maybe they made that my personality. It didn't mean that they didn't want any blacks. They tried to explain to me, the agents, that they had their 5 blacks.
Mm-hmm.
They had their black queen show. They don't want to see any more blacks for the show. But I kept thinking, well, maybe I can go there, maybe change their mind. I could be another new face. I'd be added. So it was just all an experience for me that if I pull it apart now, it was racist, it was bigotry, it was hateful. But then I was to think that way. Because I think if I thought that way then, maybe I wouldn't do the things that I'm doing now.
Right.
Does this make sense?
Absolutely. 100.
Because I'm thinking if I'm saying, well, let's say no black people, so maybe I shouldn't go because they may not like me because I'm black, so I'm not going to go. But instead, I went anyway.
Right. I
They may not like me because
definitely understand that. 100.
because sometimes I think, I swear to God, sometimes in my head I think, am I making sense when I'm rambling
No, it's perfect.
about like a 25-year-old now will look at me like, well, how come you got that was what it is? I'm thinking about that wasn't that for me. It was my ticket to say, child, this is me. I'm authentic in every sense of the word from the very beginning. It didn't happen. My whole top model experience was me being bored sitting there, so I created those looks myself.
Yeah.
I'm sitting there and go, well, okay, fine. Did Tyra think the show was going to be a big, huge deal? She did. I didn't. I didn't think the show was going to be as huge as it was and got around the world globally the way it did. Huge.
Yeah.
I've done the Finnish, the Danish, the Swedish, the Norwegian, Canada, Britain, Vietnam, Korea, Russia, Finland. Did I say Finland? And one more. I've done so many of them, you know,
Yeah.
and just bringing me in what you see on TV, maybe less makeup, less looks. This who I am. There's no separation.
No, I remember the first time that I saw you on TV, right? It, and this is just the honest truth. It was something that scared me about this brave person just do like how could you get to do this and because I don't know how
I know how you felt. I know how you felt.
so yeah.
You felt as though you were my father, and you didn't want me to get hurt. You didn't want me to go out there. How does this person actually be on TV and do this and not get beat up and not get attacked? And how could, whoa.
Right.
I
It was just it was amazing in a sense to watch that this is somebody that can be fully themselves and be celebrated for it, which at that time I don't recall ever really seeing that. I mean, I've seen RuPaul been on television, but and that was when I was like about 6 years old, and here I am, 16, and now watching you, it was just really it did something, it moved me in a different way, and I was just like, this is interesting, and we definitely tuned in. And I think that opened the doors for, because everyone loved Top Model, and it opened the doors for families to be able to like, like, so if they see their nephew, if they see their son, if they see their cousin or uncle, have possessed that same bravery and that drive, I feel that people may just be like, well, that's just who he is, and that's what I feel like you definitely contributed.
and I'm telling you, I never looked at it that way. It was just me just doing what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Tyra didn't make me do anything. I went on TV when she first came with the show. She asked me. I was the first one that she contacted.
Mm.
And I was in the Bill Blass offices here working with Lawson Nielsen, the designer, and we were just finishing. And her mother called me and said, Jay, this is Mama Caroline. Tyra has a show idea. You're the first person that she's calling. Stevie went in here and came out here. It never stayed in my head. It was, oh, yeah, no, but, okay.
Mm.
And that happened. It was what it was. And then when I came on as a judge, I thought, what am I going to do? I said, oh, this is going to be so boring, because they were girls that I didn't see. There's girls that I saw that I thought should have been, because I was never part of the casting process. That was never part of it. I just went onto the show. Those are girls that were chosen, and this is what you do. Then when we got into being a part of the casting episodes, I would see girls that I was dying to be on the show who I thought were tall, who were fierce, were fabulous, but never made it. And that's why, because once that process was over, they chose who they wanted to choose. And I went back and slowly we saw and work with who we work with. And I was sitting kind of going, what am I going to do? I'm just going to be, oh, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to do a big, huge corsage. And each week, when the girl gets kicked, I'm going to take a flower off into this, to one left. So everything I came up with was my own head. I made with my own hands.
That's amazing.
And I would never tell Tyra until we got on set. She said, what are you doing? I said, I'm going to do my bow tie. You'll see. She said, no, Jay, we need to introduce it to the show so people can tune in as what's happening. I did the bow tie that started that big, and the next thing was that big. The afro, the growing afro, the sleeves. I would just do things.
I remember that.
Make them creative, and then come to the show. But I never did it thinking I was doing anything groundbreaking. I was just being myself.
Yeah.
Just being my crazy ass
Right.
creative self. That was it. Until people such yourself now tell me, you realize how powerful that was for me to visually look at that as a young Black guy kind of going, well, shit, I could be that way too. I don't need to be. And again, I didn't think about that. I just was doing
Right.
it.
I can totally understand that, how it's not in your mind at all. If you're a person that's just a loving person, you have a passion for something, and you just go out and do it. It only come to your mind when it happens to you. What project are you working on right now, just to let people know? And what?
I'm working on two things. They keep saying, don't mention anything yet. So it's some other TV situations. I
Yeah.
swear to God, look, I just saw a plane.
Uh-oh.
Swear to God, it looked like it was just about to crash.
Oh no.
Hopefully it was probably a helicopter. I looked up and I just saw like, oh my God, it was so low. And I'm thinking like, oh my God, if I see smoke, bitch, you're going to say, Miss J saw it happening.
That would be crazy.
A helicopter. I was like, that's a little bit too low for me. And I just went down. Anyway.
Good though.
Yeah. So it's just because whenever you start to talk about these projects, and right now things
Because I know you're filming something right now. That I know that you've been filming and things.
Well, this also just all part of my documentary. That I can give you that too. And it's a documentary I work with the Swedish director, and it's just about my life. It's from South Bronx to Paris.
Wonderful.
Sometimes because we can't travel now into Europe, so he's now there, and it's making me crazy because we just started shooting it a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
And we're shooting in, we're shooting in Atlanta, Savannah, New York. We go back to the South Bronx, Paris, Tokyo, Sweden. And so it's just shooting and getting the girls that I worked together with back in the early 90s and how that whole thing came about, working with models and with my big mouth, showing them how to walk. And then the girls become famous, they become well known. And for me, again, it was just me paying rent.
Yeah.
And nothing for me, nothing is ever done to be groundbreaking. It's all done out of me. Never. I'm gonna be groundbreaking. Child, no. The rent is due.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it is for me. It wasn't about trying to go buy the big house up in the countryside, not gonna buy, designer labels. It was never that. For me, it was just like rent has to be paid. You have a little bit of a talent here somewhere.
Yeah.
Talent. And I think that's why moving forward. I never said I want to be famous.
Mm-hmm. I want to ask you before we get out of here, what is the biggest misconception of you, of Miss J? Like, what is the biggest misconception of Miss J?
That I'm not nice and I got all this attitude and I'm all brand new. No, bitch, I ain't brand new. I'm old.
Yeah, and you look freaking amazing. I didn't.
A 99.
Look amazing. That's all I'm gonna say.
It is because I have never done drugs, alcohol. Never.
Okay, yeah.
Never.
I always hear people who look good when they're older and they just full of energy. That's the thing that they say. I've never drank and did any drugs or anything like that.
Don't drink coffee, wine, and I live in a country where wine is it, cigarette smoke. Never in my entire life. Never, 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 never.
Wow.
Not even coffee. Never.
That's amazing. So I'm glad we know that.
And I don't want to fuck with folks. And I'm trying to tell you, I'm a person, I will hold on to something for a long time and let it work its way out. Let it just work its way out.
Yeah.
But I don't like to be with folks. I like to, you come at me, I come back. You're nice to me, I'm nice back to you. I just had this conversation earlier about people who are very unkind to me. Jerome Lamar and I were having this really long, great conversation today. And about people who are kind to you for their own ego and power. And for me, it's like, I don't want your job.
Right.
I don't want your job.
Right.
But you don't know that I know that you had me fired from that job. And every time I see you, I'm always very nice to you, which makes me crazy. You have no idea that I know they said you're the one that I didn't get the job.
Mm-hmm.
But, I talk about the black on black crime, the gay and gay crime. These things happen. Everything goes to the gender, everything goes to the color. Everything is not gender, everything is not color for most things. Yes, it does exist. But if I think that way, I would never go forward. I would never move forward. If I keep thinking it's because I am black, because I'm gay, because I cross-dress, because I'm under the umbrella of trans, I'm under that umbrella, just the name is J. And what fascinates people is that, it fascinates me. I'm always surprised at the people who come into my life that the people you least expect to be a fan or to like me, that can talk to me on the street. It still surprises me. And some guy said to me, when I watch TV, I see you just being who you are. And it's not an act, it's just who you are. He said, I'm a straight man. He said, I just get I get a big old kick out of you because your ass is crazy. But I just see you as just being who you are. And on the street, the biggest conception is that I'm shorter than I am.
Yeah. Yeah.
My feet, nope, no high heels, babe, 6'4" without heels. It's just that whole moment. But the things I've learned from 4 people, Imelda Marcos, most people don't know she is. She said to me one day, you take the air out of the room. Yes, you take the air out of the room. She said, you have so much personality and so much character. But remember, people like you, it's hard to be hated, but harder to be envied. See, the same look I had, same look you gave, I did the same, and I was at dinner with her when she said it. I was at dinner with her across the table. She said, I watch you in that show. When people hate you, they can get past the hate, but they need to know you. But when people envy you, they do everything to take you and tear you down. Boss, Marsha Lewin, who she and I met up 32 years later, said to me one day at work, you appear to be smarter by asking questions than not asking them. I made a mistake. I wanted to impress her. And the mistake cost me 4.5 hours going through the garbage to find all the torn up receipts of things that from the order book that we put together and put back and just write void on it. Very simple, just write void. But I went to impress her. Wow. Jacqueline said to me at the Funk Sorbet in Paris at the fitting, I said, I should have known that. But she said, no. You're not here to know, you're here to learn.
Yeah, that's amazing.
My mother, the late Sadie Elizabeth Grant Cohen Carter, said to me, if you make $100, save 50, spend 25 carefully, spend 25 foolishly.
And now that's why Miss J is,
Steve, if you want to be able to have 2 or 3 apartments, you can do it.
Yeah.
You get it right. And I want the same respect back from you as I give to you. And sometimes everyone's not going to like you. And I accept that too. Everyone's not going to like you. And right now, before we hang up, right now with this whole thing about influencers and so forth and so on, it's a popularity contest.
Yeah.
We're in a popularity contest.
It had become a popularity contest. And I always wonder how you guys look at this whole, because you have Instagram models now, you have all of these, It's a whole new thing. You don't even have to be signed to an agency. I mean, maybe, but you know,
But
you have
agencies
dating.
have, but agencies have those Instagram models. It's a
Oh,
section
right. Yeah.
for them. There's money to be made. Influencers, they're making money. I
Yeah.
just want, when you come to me with a microphone, at least have a little bit of the knowledge of the questions that you're asking me.
Right.
Because I'm sitting back here kind of going, and I'm going along with it. You know, you must be, I'm not angry at them. Make your money. Make, baby, get yours, do yours. That's it. But the world has shifted. The fashion industry has shifted.
Yeah.
It's been, you know, we have the trans that are in shows. We have the plus size girls,
Hmm.
or I don't think we use plus size, or, you know, even whatever you want to use it, you know, but they're girls that are not just stand-up models that are in shows, because in the end, it's true. I've always said that. Those are the people that the regular folks look at.
Yeah.
A woman looking at a 30-year-old, a little 50-year-old woman looking at a 25-year-old model, she's fantasizing about being liking her, looking like her, wanting to be her.
Yeah.
And the woman who has, the woman who has a little bit extra curves, who's spending money on buying her clothes, she wants to see someone that represents her.
Yeah.
Black people want to see black people on the runways. So you want to see the black girl that doesn't necessarily have long hair, that doesn't have a weave. You know, people want to see the diversity is there up for the grabbing and taking. And I'm very happy that it
Y'all
shifted.
are the ones that opened the doors for that. I mean, y'all really pushed for, you know,
Yeah.
not necessarily social media type thing, although you guys did have that later on the show. But I would say to all of those Instagram models and things like that, just make sure that the homage is definitely being paid, and know that you didn't
That's
necessarily create this world, you know?
growth comes from. Just respect where the growth comes from. Respect that it's hard work. It's not easy, you know. But just because you have, a million followers and a viral following of 3 million doesn't make what you say right.
Absolutely,
Because
100.
we follow that thing. Well, she said it, that makes it okay. Not necessarily, because sometimes some things are just designed and programmed for you. You know
Mm,
what I mean? That's just take what you need out of the conversation, and everything else you put aside. Well, I need that, Everybody's not your enemy. Everyone doesn't hate you. Everyone doesn't hate you because you're black.
absolutely.
Some people, yes, you feel it, you see it. But I think if you start thinking that everyone doesn't like you because of who you are, you will never move. That's my thing.
Yeah,
Racism is happening every day,
yeah,
all over the place. But if I keep thinking that I can't go there because I'm black, I would never go there. So,
100%.
so when I so when I say so when I say everyone doesn't hate you because you're black, I want you to say that to yourself as you go out there and apply for the job that you are qualified for. That
Yeah, yeah,
you do.
absolutely. 100%.
That's to take all that out, take that out of your head,
Mm,
and to make the attempt, because you never know unless you walk into it. You never know. You never know. Look, racism is there every day. You walk past, you'd be surprised who you didn't think liked you, or because you were, you know, sexually nonconforming. I've been that person. I'm looking at kids right now who want to transition at an early age. I'm going through that with a friend's son who now wants to transition and has always said to the father from 4 years old, "I'm a girl," and it's now 9. Is now 9 years old. So, and the father's having a moment with it, but the father's sitting there, kind of going right through with it, being very supportive, and that is not easy. So when you don't know how to address it because you go out as a parent of the fear of my son getting hurt from what I'm reading about in the newspapers, what I'm seeing on television, my son being beaten up in school because he really believes inside that he is a girl. I don't have all those answers, but the one thing I always say is support your kids will guide you.
yeah, yeah.
Support them.
Oh,
Listen to them.
wait.
Yeah, listen to them. Listen to your kids, because your kids, they will tell you, they will guide you on what their likes and dislikes and what they want. But you think, oh, he's so young, he doesn't know, it's just a phase. It's not a phase. when he's been telling you since he was 4 years old. And now you're allowing him to dress as a girl going to school. Before it was only in the weekends, but now you're allowing him to go to school, now allowing her to go to school as a girl. So we get it, but support it. Just support it. Just support your kids. Everybody doesn't want to be a fireman or policeman or a doctor, lawyer. Everybody doesn't want to do that. And one more thing, we can hang up. All Black boys don't want to be makeup artists, hairdressers, and fashion designers.
Oh, yeah.
all gay boys don't want to be a hairdresser, a makeup artist, or fashion designer, or a stylist, or a florist, or a decorator. Stop giving us those options for us to have success.
Absolutely, 100%. Everybody is different. They're different personality. They're different wants. And also stop believing that, we too do not want families and marriages and things like that. Everyone is different, so definitely we want to encourage more love, more
acceptance, understanding,
yeah,
passion, and just love from every end. Just accept me that I don't want to do what you have done, Dad, when you came over here, or Mom, when you came here. This is what gets me. This is my drive. But he's got to get that degree. He's got to get to school with that paperwork. He's got to get to school with this. The only way he's going to get into a good school is if he does it through sports.
Mm-hmm. Right.
But he doesn't want to do sports. So I would say just support your kids in their creative process, and you see them going to that 40% of the time, you can, okay, maybe switch up, and we see them going 55, 60, keep going back to that. That's where the drive and success and the happy is. Help your child find their happy.
Yeah.
And support their happy. But these are the things I'm struggling right now with production and television. I don't want to do that. But you guys keep easing it back. That's not what I want to do.
Mm-hmm.
I want to do that instead.
Yeah.
And we watch when they pitch the ideas, and we say, "What about this? I don't want to do it." You already, how many makeup shows do you have already? Makeover shows already. Everybody don't want to do that.
Right.
Because nobody knows what they want until they put their hands on it. Sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. I went to school being an accountant because my sister did it. I liked it, but then in the end, I just took interest, and I just feel the interest. Like I said, I think just going through life, just being unbothered, and not everything being. I use things as stepping stones and not stumbling blocks.
Yeah, 100%, absolutely.
I didn't, like I said, everything's happened in my life. I'm grateful. I'm thankful that I'm still here. I survived, the madness. You're gonna survive this madness. It's not easy, and I don't take myself too seriously with some things sometimes. I'm a child, a big mess half the time. This bitch is crazy.
Yeah.
Miss J's crazy.
Yeah.
Say crazy.
And we just want to say thank you so much for your bravery.
Ask me now. I'm coming. I know it's in Carly said.
It's time to go anyway. But thank you so much for your bravery, for your courage, and for you being open enough to even tell these stories. We definitely appreciate you, and thank you.
It's just human. It's just human, and like I said, share the information. I mean, it's nothing devastating about it. It's it's things that I've learned along the way. It's just the things that you. Okay, fine. Well, you didn't want to. When you think about it now, my thought process now is different now with what's happening in the world on a daily basis than it was 25 years ago. Even things shifted within the past 10 years, past 5 years.
Yeah.
Fashion is, everybody wears fashion. Every shape, size, color, race, creed, they all wear fashion.
Right.
And, we are an inspiration, and Black folks too have to understand that we are like blooming roses. We come in many different shades.
We do,
We come in many different shades.
Chocolate, milk chocolate. French vanilla. So yeah,
French,
all of that.
mix it all up.
Yeah, mix it all up and
Mix it
let
all
it
up.
be love. A
And
taste of love.
this is about, baby, let just love take it and just shift it and take you where to go.
Yeah,
And just say, again, I'm glad that I woke up today. Um, and I'm able to eat and breathe and see, speak and
yeah,
hear.
absolutely.
And
Thank you
I'm
so
grateful
much, Miss
for
J. I so appreciate
that.
you for
Everyone,
this.
bye.
Bye. Subscribe now.